Hello, I'm Dr. Greg Mattingly, and I'm here with Dr. Ann Childress to discuss the origins of the Before School Functioning Questionnaire, which we refer to as the BSFQ, and how it should be used. So welcome, Dr. Childress.
Thanks, Greg. The BSFQ is a relatively new tool. It was designed to assess before school behaviors. Previous research in children with ADHD has really focused primarily on in the classroom behavior, and little attention has been given to the home-based difficulties that people have during that early morning routine. The BSFQ was developed by Drs. Tim Willens and Paul Hammerness. They're both practicing child and adolescent psychiatrists at Mass General and Boston Children's Hospital. They developed the BSFQ in response to really a lack of tools that looked at how children with ADHD perform at home before they get to school. So it's really the first validated scale developed to capture naturalistic functioning in children and adolescents with ADHD in the morning before school, specifically between the hours of 6 and 9 a.m. It focuses on commonly reported areas of activities associated with ADHD during those times, and it can be completed by a caregiver alone or in collaboration with another healthcare professional. The BSFQ looks similar to the ADHD rating scale, which is also known as the ADHD-RS, so it's in a format that is really familiar to many practitioners. In fact, a recent paper by Dr. Steve Ferrone showed that the two scales were highly correlated. And the BSFQ has been used in assessment of morning functioning and multiple controlled clinical trials.
So Ann, tell us a little bit more about the specific population of children. What types of kids has the BSFQ been shown to work for measuring early morning functioning?
Okay. The BSFQ was designed to assess early morning functioning, or EMF, impairments in children and adolescents with ADHD. It includes 20 items that are rated on a Likert scale from 0 to 3. 0 represents no impairment, 3 represents severe maximal impairment. The BSFQ also allows caregivers or healthcare professionals to record measures of early morning time management. How long does it take to wake up and get out of bed? How long does it take to complete morning routines from when they get out of bed until they leave the house? It's a tool that has a lot of promise in clinical settings moving forward.
So let's take a look at this questionnaire in more detail. Teach us about how we should use it. Teach us how it was developed.
Okay. There are the first 10 questions, and it's important to remember that caregivers should complete the questionnaire on school days and either daily or weekly, and they're looking at those early morning hours before school, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. The questions are focused on rating before school behaviors in that time period, during the past week only. That's crucial. The designers of the questionnaire wanted to limit observations of the ADHD behaviors to those that were exhibited during the previous 7-day period and not go further back than that. Questions include listening. So either listening to parents or caregivers or maybe an older sibling. And it's important that it's listening, not being oppositional. Following directions is the next one. For example, coming to the breakfast table, getting dressed, picking things up. Is the parent having to follow the child around to make sure they're eating, handing them food with a spoon out of the bowl? Looking at overall organization, and that focuses on the morning routine. Are they getting their things together? How's their awareness of time? Are they lollygagging around? Dressing. Has the child done this without prompting or without help? Some children, the parents actually have to take their pajamas off and put their clothes on them in the morning. Attention. How well is the child focusing on the morning routine or activities? Being quiet. Is the child loud? Are they waking up another parent who's sleeping in the house? Can they occupy themselves without the TV or other electronics? Procrastination. Are they waiting until the last minute to complete the morning tasks? Forgetfulness. Are they forgetting specific items like gym clothes or instruments or equipment? Losing or misplacing items. Did the book bag get lost? Where are the lunch tickets? The school projects? Where are the shoes? Shoes are a huge problem for a lot of my kids, and they even make them late for appointments. Not much in school too, of course. Let's move to the next set of questions. There's hyperactivity. Is there excessive motor activity? Is the child running around and jumping on the furniture in the morning? Talkativeness. Is he talking excessively? Interrupting and blurting out. Is he interrupting? Is he intruding? Is the parent able to finish a question before the child jumps in? Silliness. Is he acting goofy or silly, joking around, trying to make the siblings laugh instead of getting ready for school? Waiting his turn. How well is he waiting for his turn for things like getting breakfast, waiting for the bathroom, standing in line for the bus, running out the door, racing to the car? Breakfast activities. Is he sitting down when he eats? Is he distracted when he's eating? I have one mom that can't even get her child to sit down and eat. What she does is she has to get the bowl of oatmeal and she follows the child around literally and spoon feeds her. Hygiene. Is the child washing up and brushing his teeth and combing his hair? Most of the parents will say, I do the hair, or if the daughter does her hair, she'll get the front. But apparently there's the whole back of the head that a lot of these kids just don't get, and the parents are rushing out the door trying to get the back of that hair that's a rat's nest. Independence. Can they do those activities by themselves, or is the parent following them around with the brush or the bowl of cereal? Time awareness. How long is it taking to complete these tasks? Do they just get into la-la land and not see where the time is going? And how long is it taking them to get things done compared to other kids in the morning? Getting to school. Has a child missed the bus or been disruptive in the car or on the bus ride or during the walk to school? How often is the child late, or how often does it make another sibling or the parent late?
So the BSFQ is really picking up on these 20 items that we see day in and day out with our patients. We see these families come in frustrated, their kids are having a hard time in the morning, they're running late for school, they miss the bus, and they start the day upset and frustrated with each other. And I think what really struck me when I was listening to you is we're not just talking about symptoms. It's looking to see, is the child functioning in the morning? Are they meeting their obligations? Can they start their day in a way that helps to launch them towards a healthy rest of the day? So are they completing their functions? Which I think is important for our listeners to think about. We're not just measuring symptoms, we're taking a look at function. So those are the 20 domains that we're looking at with the BSFQ. By the way, physicians can download the BSFQ at www.adhdmorning.com. Or it can also be downloaded from this program by clicking the action icon. So let me try to summarize. We have 20 items that measure symptoms, but more importantly, are measuring a child's early morning functioning. And we've now found that it's reliable, it's valid, and it's available to be downloaded either through this program or on sites throughout the internet. Thank you, Dr. Childress.
You're welcome, Greg.
In this chapter, we've discussed the promising utility of the BSFQ as a tool that can be added to the ADHD assessment mix. And I think it will become into wider use as time goes on. Be sure to watch the other videos in this program. Dr. Russell Barkley discusses the challenges of early morning functioning impairments in children with ADHD. Dr. Michelle Novotny provides tips and tools for strengthening working memory and organizational skills in children with ADHD. Thank you.